This is misBEERhavior.
What was the song we wrote?
I don't know what we were. Oh, it was the.
I want to penetrate you.
You want to penetrate me.
You want to penetrate me.
Because I'm going to penetrate Ariana, but
Again.
I forgot to bring protection. So I pierced her ear yesterday, but the kit only came with one pair of gloves. Last week, not yesterday. And I was going to penetrate her again, but I have no more gloves, and so I can't penetrate her today.
I should go buy gloves.
No glove, no love.
Provide the gloves.
I got plenty at home.
Oh.
I steal them from hospitals. I put them in my pockets, and then I come home with pockets full.
Makes sense. You need those to like cut onions and shit like that.
Shit, yeah, I use them to do all of my cooking needs.
Meat prep.
There you go. Well, anyway,
Cooking needs, sits on it, lets her hand get numb, does the stranger.
That's right. This is misBEERhavior, 20th episode today, and I am your host, Missy, and these are my amazing co-hosts. We got the amazing Ariana, a.k.a. Batman.
No, I am Batman.
The amazing Ron, a.k.a. Batman.
This
I
is
also
21.
am Batman.
Oh, 21. Sorry, guys. 21.
Congratulations, misBEERhavior is now old enough to drink itself.
Yay.
Yes. And so we are all dressed in Batman because Ron and I decided to accidentally be twins today. And so Ariana had to be with us. So she's wearing her Batman shirt as well. And today we're going to do things a little bit out of the ordinary because our friend Zach Hawley from 513 Craft Beer Group, he provided us with some Samuel Adams a while back in February. He gave them to us, and we just kind of threw them in the back of the refrigerator and kind of forgot about them. And then he also provided us with another special beer today. But today we had, for our pre-beers, we had the Holiday White Ale from Samuel Adams.
That was a good one. I like that.
I really like that
Good
one
holiday
too.
spice.
I thought that said crusty and hazy. It says citrusy and hazy. And then we had the Black Lager.
Which I am still drinking currently.
And that is the type that I usually like. I do say I do like a good holiday ale, like a really light ale. There was, when I first took a sip of it, it had this like a you could just take a immediate slight bitter taste, but then the sweet rolled in, and it was really good. It had that little bit of a spice.
Pretty refreshing.
It was.
For me, I just saw Sam Adams. I didn't look at what the actual style of it was until I had a few sips. I was like, that's a good holiday ale. Looked up, yep, sure
right.
enough.
See, I'm not really too big into Sam Adams, but anytime I've ever had their like their white holiday ale, it's like really good. And that I do really like those. They're a good winter beer, even though that would typically, like a thin beer would strike me as a summer beer.
And weirdly enough, we had Chinese food for dinner, and I feel like it went pretty well with it.
Too. I was like,
Very good.
good mix.
Just for the record, ladies and gentlemen, the Batman on the far side there of me, Bat
The Ariana,
Ariana,
for those who are, yes.
Bat Ariana does a hell of a job cooking. That woman made some fucking amazing Chinese food. And
Sesame chicken.
That was good.
It was good.
It was very good.
I did not know I needed that until I had that, and it was amazing.
We all needed that.
Hell yeah, we did. So our first beer that's not the typical misBEERhavior beer.
Are we going to drink that first?
Oh yeah, we're going
Sweet.
first.
I'm excited.
It's the other one that Zach Hawley provided for us from Sonder, the Kings Island Strawberry Funnel Cake Ale. I've been hearing about it, and I've heard it was really fucking awesome. So Zach, we thank you for this because I wouldn't have got it either way had nobody else brought it because it's kind of hard to get a hold of stuff like that once they've been distributed, and I've never seen like the Kings Island beers out and about much. But
I think I had to go to like some pretty great lengths to get hands on the blue ice cream beer they had last year.
Yes, and from what I hear, this beer tastes more like the Kings Island funnel cake than the blue ice cream beer tasted like the blue ice cream beer last year. So this flavor is a more accurate of what the representation is on the can. So we're going to go with this awesome Kings Island beer. I actually, once I saw it, I was like, man, I really want that beer.
I can already smell the strawberry.
Ooh, so can I. It smells really good.
Sunday, so Mr. Zach a while back won some tickets for himself and me to go to all-day concert, or an all-weekend concert thing called Sonic Temple. And through a little bit of cheating, we wound up with a third wristband, so Ariana joined us.
I kind of wondered. I thought, I was really confused on how you got the third.
Basically, it all came down to scheduling, and the radio station he wanted for was nice enough to give him a third.
That's pretty nice. Zach's good at getting freebies. Go, Zach, go.
He brought that over, and at like 10 in the morning. It's like, let's crack this open and drink. And it's like, that's too early. And I got to drive like 2 hours to the freaking concert, dude.
On a holiday weekend.
Where there was like literally, I counted like 10 or 12 freaking cops.
I was going to say, there was
troopers.
at least 10. It was ridiculous.
And it was like, yeah. So we held on to this one. And Zach was like, oh, I like literally talked to this one. Oh, you definitely need to drink that on the podcast. I was like, we'll get to it. We get to it.
I thank you for holding on to it. It smells really good. It's got a really yellow color.
It's beer colored.
Very clear. It's just like a nice, refreshing looking. It's not super thin looking and not super thick. And I heard Ariana go, woo, so it's good.
It tastes like a strawberry candle.
Yeah. It's got a lot of strawberry flavor to it.
Yeah. It does have
It's all kind of a waxy strawberry flavor.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but I wish it was better.
I'd say maybe less waxy is what they're going for. Maybe more like a buttery texture.
I think that's
I kind of get a buttery texture, too.
Let's go with less waxy and more buttery for a description. I don't know how you're going to get that per se in a beer flavor. But
nope, I'm all in on the candle.
It does taste a little bit like candle, but I can kind of get what you're saying with the buttery taste. But I also think maybe it has like a little bit of like spiciness to it. Like
I do taste the spice to it.
Like a cinnamon or something maybe.
The Troy, Ohio nearest has a
Nutmeg.
Strawberry Fest, and Muller's has done like strawberry beers for them before. And, one of them I had one year tasted just like that strawberry shortcake smell. Mm-hmm. Too much of that.
That's what I was thinking about.
Too much
this
of the
one too.
Artificial strawberry flavor to kick it over the top. Mm-hmm. Like I'm sure this was brewed with a good amount of strawberries in it, but it's definitely got some of that artificial berry flavor.
Four.
What?
About four strawberries.
About 4 strawberries for like a 500 barrel batch.
Yeah. No, it's kind of good. You can see where they really had tried to nail certain tastes, but to me, I'm getting the fake strawberry, the fake butter wax.
So the as far as the fake strawberry flavor, I mean, it's fake strawberry flavor, but realistically, like the strawberry syrup they put on
does taste a lot more like this.
It's not exactly like straight up strawberries.
Yeah.
It's artificial strawberry flavor.
The
like
strawberry gel, and it does taste quite like that. That is true.
I think if you let it settle, like the aftertaste is kind of that buttery taste, but like as you're drinking it, it tastes like a strawberry candle. Like when you walk in, like let's say like Christmas time or something, into what is that, White Barn or something, where they have all the candle, like the Christmas candle smells. That's kind of what it tastes like.
Does the can
but add strawberry?
Does the can make any mention of any hops or anything that we know of on it?
So I don't know.
Because I brought it from my house, but I didn't actually look at it.
So brewed and canned by Sonder, Kings Island, Marks Trademark, Cedar Fair. Government warning: 4.8 ale with natural flavors. I bet it's more so like.
So it's an ale, so there's not a lot of hoppiness, if any, to it.
Kind of wondering if it's more like a malt beverage, but because it's just calling it an ale. Doesn't say beer, but I think a lot of times they don't say beer. Doesn't have to.
On the topic of Kings Island, I finally got off my ass last night and renewed my Kings Island season pass.
Good for you, Ronald.
I'm going to go coaster whoring.
This reminds me of a liquor. Like my dad had some kind of strawberry liquor in his liquor cabinet when I was a kid. And I remember taking a drink of it, and this is exactly what it tastes like almost, except for a little bit stronger.
I remember you talked about your
I remember
tasting
her
things.
talking about that.
Tasting things in the liquor cabinet. Not drinking them, tasting them.
I did. I just took a sip because I didn't want to get caught.
Right. She couldn't guzzle it. Daddy be knowing stuff.
And I don't know if he would have even cared. He probably wouldn't have even said anything, but I was probably like 13 anyway. We were left home a lot. I mean, it was the 90s.
Exactly. he let you guys drive.
He did.
I couldn't remember. I couldn't believe the first time I saw you, because you might have only been like 12. And he's like, "All right, sis, we're going to trade spots." And I'm like, "Really? This is how it's done?" Like,
You're 12 years old, Ariana. You're a man now. Now take the wheel.
I was like, "Damn." And then he let Ian drive, and Ian was too short to reach the pedals, so Ian was sitting on his lap.
You were in the car with us
Yeah,
when they did that?
I was really shocked that
he
did that. Yeah, I couldn't believe he did that.
I do not remember you being in the car, but I do remember passing somebody from school,
See, you guys
in a van. It was.
Did he do that more than once with you guys?
Maybe.
I think he did, because I think I remember you telling me that he did it more than once, and I don't recall passing anybody.
You guys are saying stuff like this, but I was young, do the farm things. It was like you just drove everything. It didn't matter if you were like 5 or 6, it's like, yep, you can drive it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
what
wasn't
they
like
do.
that
Driving
when I
like
was-
the old school kill your ass 3-wheelers that would just, wheelie over
Those are
nothing.
good times.
There, my cousins and I would go out in the field and just run them as fast as we could. So,
Yeah, this
Right.
is straight up on the road.
Right, yeah. She's just driving down the road, just chilling. I'm like, damn, like he wasn't even, like she was just doing it. Like he didn't even have his hand guarding the wheel, or didn't, it wasn't like overprotecting or worrying. She was just like,
well, I've talked
I
about,
was like,
we've
damn.
talked about the 90s before. The 90s were a different time.
yeah, but
He let us steer from a really young age, though. Like, I was probably like 7 or 8 years old and like steering the car while he was just like hitting the gas.
that's so funny.
For those that are listening, the Kings Island beer, by the way, like Missy was saying, it's got the Sonder logo at the top, the Kings Island logo in the middle, and then a strawberry funnel cake ale with a picture of a strawberry funnel cake on it.
And the Kings Island Tower in the background, just kind of like its shadow, like
just like real light hazy, the Kings Island Eiffel Tower.
And to be fair, I had so much more hopes for this. I'm sorry, Zach.
It's a.
I'm already
I did too.
thinking it at like a 2.5.
See, this one.
I would give it higher than that, but
I wanted to, but I couldn't talk myself into
I
I wish
it.
it
think
was a little
based-
sweeter.
I
Sorry,
think
Ron.
based off
Yeah.
of drinking this one is much better, we'll say, designed for being in the park versus their ice cream beer was. Because the ice cream beer felt heavy because all the lactose in it.
I would say that.
This one's sweet. There's no lactose in it, but it's sweet. And it's 4.8%. 4.6? 4.8, my shitty eyes. But that being said, it's not a heavy beer, so you can drink a lot of them. Ride your coasters and not feel like that lactose kind of a feel in a an exceptionally hot 90-degree day.
Right, because sometimes people just can't do lactose when it's super hot. But
It's like
no,
giving a baby a bottle of cold milk on a hot day and they just vomit it everywhere.
Icky. No, but I am really glad that we did get to try these nonetheless, and I appreciate Zach for taking the time to get them to us.
Yes.
I will say it is refreshing.
Oh damn! You know what he wanted to do, and I totally forgot.
He wanted to try to video chat. He said this to me a bunch of times.
I fucking forgot to set it up. Sorry, Zach.
We'll figure it out soon.
We'll get you in some other time, or maybe we can do a weekend misBEERhavior, and we can actually get you on.
So I want to talk about something.
Yes, do it.
So I'm going to paint a picture here.
Actual painting. Where's the brush?
Yeah. So on our little excursion to Sonic Temple this weekend,
Such a lovely time.
we had a great time, but
Fuck yes.
we got out of the car and we were like, so it's like at the Ohio State campground or Ohio State Fair grounds. And when you walk up from where we were parked, there's a campground on the left. And right when you get up to the corner, there is this humongous sign that says free glory hole on it. And it has Pornhub and a half naked woman. And then there's just some fucking Guy Fieri looking dude standing there yelling at everybody that walks by.
Yeah. So the Pornhub sign, the Pornhub sign was attached to the chain link fence, and there was a hole cut in it about crotch level, so you could stick your dick in there and you can get blown in the.
And Ron did. And
I keep wanting to say I feel like he'd stick his mouth up to it.
I wonder how many people actually did stick their dick in there. If somebody actually did. I'd like to hear that story.
Right.
I'm sure somebody put their finger.
So
in
if you were at Sonic Temple and you stuck your dick in the glory hole and would like to be a guest on misBEERhavior, please message us. You can message us on.
I'm just sitting there thinking about someone going, I'm not sticking my dick in there. There's fuck, put your finger in there, you fucking pussy. And then there's somebody back there that's just they're oh my god, and then it ran off.
It was funny because we were standing there. The guys were standing there taking pictures of the free glory hole or whatever. And some random dude comes walking by. He's like, hey, there's a free glory hole to that guy. And the guy's like, well, at least he looks like he has some enthusiasm.
That dude, the dude that I saw was crazy, long-haired, wild-looking motherfucker, probably 65. He's wearing freaking Daisy Duke shorts and shit.
Dude, he looked like drunken Guy Fieri without a shirt on.
I like it.
But he was excited. It may not have been a good blowjob, but he would have put his heart and soul into it.
I bet it would have been good.
Yeah, it would have been
I
good
think
enough.
it would have been.
All
I was
the guys-
trying.
Good
I was
enough for a
trying to get him.
public glory hole.
But see, here's my problem. These glory holes are sexist. Why don't they have glory holes for women?
Right, like glory slits.
Yeah. Like, can I stick my junk up against this glory hole? Does anything happen? I mean,
Right.
like,
Ariana,
Dude, you should have done that.
Ariana, I 100% bet if you'd have whipped your fucking cooch out and
And
stuck it up to that
hole, there would have been a line of dudes.
there'd have been a whole bit of
something
something
in
at
there.
that. They'd have probably been like, so hey, I see you whipped it out and you're horny. You want to come work this side of the fence?
ew. And what did his RV say? It said pussy something, like pussy wagon or something on it.
I did not see it. I was too busy looking at the glory hole sign and watching the spectacle of him dancing.
He had like an awning or something over his RV, and it said pussy something, but I couldn't read the whole thing because of the way like the angle it was. It just, all I could see was pussy, and I'm guessing it probably said pussy wagon or something.
Probably.
But like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, that guy's not getting any of that.
And
It's
just for the
probably
record, I
not.
kept making
But if he had a glory hole, he wasn't getting pussy. He was the one that was mouthing the...
I know. I'm wondering if something actually would have happened if you stuck your dick in
that
there.
would have definitely happened if you looked behind there. There was like a little like makeshift like shelter box to hide who was inside the glory hole, and like there were the
Guy
women,
had his puppy or something in there.
they were like
Peanut
all
butter.
plastered
Right.
all over this fence. I did not take pictures. That was like just pictures of like big ass Asian women and shit and all this other stuff. And it's just basically, oh yeah, that's a big ass Asian woman in there sucking my dick. It's not like the old Guy Fieri looking motherfucker. He's definitely not doing it.
I think he is.
I'm
Could've
definitely not going to pull my dick out after nutting and get herpes.
Why not, dude? Herpes doesn't kill you.
Yeah, I was just listening to some guy having herpes today.
It's the gift that keeps on giving. It just stays there forever.
They
So you're
don't-
never
They don't
lonely.
kill you, so it's all right. Dude, you're so judgy. Just get herpes, dude.
Yeah,
I'd still be your
seriously.
friend.
Is that what all the cool people are doing?
You don't get herpes from sitting by each other and drinking beer with each other. Like,
I'm going to get herpes. I'm going to lick your fucking glass.
dude,
It's like
I'll get AIDS and I'll fucking give it to you. So fuck off.
It's
Yeah.
dude. It'll be like that episode of South Park.
Yes, that's
where
right.
like the freaking kids, like their parents got them all together for a chicken pox party,
That's right.
and like they were like, "The fuck," and basically,
Thought their parents are giving that. I'm dumping
the-
all that water on Ron's leg.
thank you. And, like all the kids got together because it was like chicken herpes because they found out chicken pox is related to herpes.
Right.
So they like found the nastiest, loosest whore downtown and got her to like brush her teeth and do all this other
Right.
shit with like their parents' toothbrushes
That's right.
as revenge.
And then Cartman's mom got
She got-
herpes someplace else.
yeah, like at the end of the episode, they all
Insinuating
had.
she used her toothbrush in her own vagina as well.
She was like, "I've got herpes somewhere else."
That's right.
So next time we go out, if we ever see a glory hole somewhere, I dare one of us.
Nose goes.
Damn it. Yeah, nose goes. Nose goes.
No, the last one was because my finger on my nose signifies no nose. And so the last one putting their finger on their nose, the one that does not have their finger on their nose.
God damn it. So
I dare one of us. You should have just clearly represented and stated, I either dare you or Ron Missy.
I do, actually.
One of us included her.
So
Well, if Zach comes with us, Zach, you totally got to fuck with the glory hole.
I tried to get him to, and he's like, nah. And I'm like, wuss.
Pussy.
I wonder, we could probably just pay someone. Pay a random homeless person.
That's a good idea. I could have done that.
Be like, here you
Some
go.
random drunk guy probably would have done
Right,
it.
that too.
God, there was plenty of those.
Dude,
Or stoned.
you know what I was thinking today?
What's that?
So, you know when we were younger and we go to a concert and you would see like those older women that were always like dressed all like goth or whatever, and they would be dressed like all like in really skimpy clothes, but they were like, you know, like in their probably 50s, and it was kind of like,
Yeah.
ugh, because we were like young or whatever.
That's going to be
I
us.
don't see any of those anymore, and it was
Yeah,
kind of
that's
disappointing.
unfortunate.
I'm like, where
dude, I was-
did they age out?
Where are all the old horrors?
No, Ariana.
Like, it's
those
us
who
now?
saw them, it's us.
Right.
We're that age group.
So
and
now-
we're like, no, we saw those bitches and they were nasty.
So now
And
we
look
have to-
better than they
Because,
did.
well, they always had like the 80s, like the curl, like, you know, like the 80s bangs and stuff. And they would be wearing like all like really skimpy black
We can
clothes.
go do that.
And we were like 20 or something. And they're like 50. And we're like, oh, what
Do you
the
want to go?
fuck?
You want to dress like that at the next
We
concert?
should.
I would
So-
We
fucking do
should.
it.
Because
So-
I think it's our turn now.
So
Yeah,
like when,
it is our turn. It's our turn to be the old whores. That where all the young kids are like, look at those old whores. But they fucked everyone here.
man talking
Like,
about
old whores rule.
talking about fucking old whores. What was it? Filter. There was this chick, man. I won't say like she had to have been like 35 to 45. I couldn't tell.
I think she might have even been younger than that.
It's hard to tell, but she was rode hard and put away wet bad. She was like from back, her body looked decent, and then you turned around and saw her face, and like she had these like the snaggletooth thing and like freaking shit all over her face and some herpes and shit.
Nice.
And she's like, oh, what the hell?
Ron was totally checking her out.
Right. If you're looking at her that hardcore knowing she has herpes.
Well, it was just like, look, it's one of those deals where it's like you look at something, you're like, damn.
Over the years of knowing Ron has just full-on face looked at some other women, and it's a miraculous how many women have had herpes without Ron seeing herpes up close and having them diagnosed in front of him to know that they're herpes.
Full-on face looked.
Right, yeah. He looked at their
like that.
face. Like, it's not that he stared into the vagina getting ready to stick his dick into it and said, no, I better not. He just looked at their face from afar and said, oh, she was nasty. She had herpes.
She definitely had herpes.
Dude, Ron's the type of dude that gets those rumors spread about these fucking girls that have no control over their looks. They have a hormonal issue and a hormone imbalance, and they just got like a lot of fucking acne, and it's like, nah, she's a whore. She's got herpes.
Well, that chick
I can't
in
wait till
question,
I'm old and gross looking.
So,
Ron's like,
like,
God
the
damn, do you have
chickens-
herpes?
That's what it's gonna be.
well, the thing that kept getting me, the chick in question, like she was tiny and looked like one of the girls, body-wise at least, that overnighted at my daughter's graduation party, like same physical size. And I'm just like, that is fucked up. And she was there with like her, like probably a 13-year-old son, 12-year-old son. She was sitting there dancing and shaking her ass and all this other stuff. And he just kept giving me, God, you're embarrassing me, Mom. This is embarrassing. This is stupid.
This is awesome.
I don't think he seemed like he was embarrassed because he was kind of dancing with her too.
Yeah, Ron.
I don't know what you were.
I saw
Watching.
embarrassed
He
son.
just saw the
see
herpes,
it.
so he just
then,
went
like,
full
I
on
know-
judge mode.
And then,
and
like,
talked
she
shit.
then, like, she got him to go up crowd surfing, and she was like, now me! And crowd surfed off.
Hey, crowd surfing's fun. But anyway, before we get
Have
to
you
our
crowd
first,
surfed?
yeah,
I never
I was
have.
doing that at Louder Than Life. I was really trash, and I kept making people throw me up there. But it is really fun. I probably did it like 4 or 5 times, and I only got dumped on my head once.
I feel like I would break a hip.
Nah, you're all right. People are like, I feel like they're fairly gentle with you.
Yeah, man.
I grabbed some ass
Hell yeah.
when somebody crowd surfed, and I had to like grab a hold of them because they were about to fall on me, and it was like right on the ass. I was like, I don't even know who. It was
Man,
some dude.
Like, that was some.
Grab dude
I have not
ass.
seen that much crowd surfing in a long goddamn
Oh my
time.
God, it was a ton.
Hell yeah, that's good times. That's a good.
It was.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, because they didn't even have crowds. Definitely didn't have it at the last concert I went to. No, last time I really saw it, because I don't know. I didn't even really see it at Riot Fest, but I wasn't looking for it. I'm sure it happened.
We were kind of standing back at Riot
Right.
Fest though.
When I was at Riot Fest up at front for Tool, yeah, nothing but.
That's cool. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because you're right up front. And that's usually where it is. But so before we get too far into this, because we went over vaguely went over the 3 beers that we had. What did you rate that Sonder there, Ron?
2.5.
And then what would you say it is? Buttery, waxy,
Buttery,
thin?
buttery strawberry.
2.5.
It's a buttery strawberry beer. It's something that I feel like, for numbers, it's something clearly designed, definitely for the masses.
Right.
Definitely like, here's a sugary sweet thing.
I
you
feel
get
like
at
it
a park
probably
only.
really would taste like a mass-produced funnel cake versus being like, I like to be snobby and do all the things like, I'm going to put this, I'm going to substitute this. And, oh, we should put like a little sprig of rosemary in the oil when we're frying it. And we're going to do this.
Okay.
And I'm going to take these strawberries and chop them up by hand.
And then
I'm
shove them
going
up
to,
my ass.
And I'm going to get this particular raw honey that's like this lilac something or other, and
Versus
it's like
Kings Island.
$13 for 4 ounces of
Versus
it.
Kings Island, where it's like $20 for a little funnel cake that cost them like $2 to make.
I'm going to infuse this honey with a little bit of sage before I make it into the strawberry syrup that's going to top it. And I'm not going to take just any powdered sugar. I'm going to take brown sugar, and I'm going to like chop it up in such a way that that's going to be the sugar. That's how I cook. That's
And then
me.
Kings Island's like, yep, it's a funnel cake. It's from a mix. It could be powdered sugar. It could be cocaine. You'll never know. You got to start it to try. It's not cocaine.
So-
Cocaine's expensive.
For our first beer specifically,
So did you rate it?
I did. I gave it a 2.5.
I gave it a 3.
Yes.
I mean, I would drink it again, but I wouldn't go out of my way to go buy it. I certainly wouldn't go running all the way down to Sonder.
I could
No.
easily turn it down.
Now, if I was at Kings Island and when they were like, let's do it, all right, I'd do it.
I mean, if there was beer and I felt like getting a buzz and it was the only beer, I could drink it, but I could easily turn it down for something different.
It's a little too sweet and a little too acidic to drink more than to really crush. It's not that crushable.
I toe. So anyway, we got this 4th generation family brewery, Sarcanac. I think that's how it's said. Saranic. AC. Sarcanac. And it's a s'mores porter, which I had brought this last week before I knew Ron was bringing any s'mores beers. This one's just a cheaper one, so it's like not so sweet. I had it before.
So like 3 s'mores beers in a row.
Yes.
Wow.
But it's not a very...
The s'mores beer.
I feel like it's quite different than
It smells
s'mores
chocolatey.
beer.
So
I think you mostly get the chocolate, I think.
Oh, real quick back to the Saunders one. There was like next to no head when it was poured. The s'mores beer has a good deal of head.
True. There was some head with the Saunders, but it didn't stay. This one's got a thicker head. And it's got a more of a brown caramely color to the beer itself.
So, talking about the crowd surfing and shit over at the concert.
Oopsies.
Yeah, I actually had to. Zach and I had snuck down to the floor
These
area.
motherfuckers.
We got in there and they just kept grabbing Ariana. She just
Every
looked,
time.
She just looked like too innocent. Like the first time I didn't get in there. The second time.
No, you got in there the first time, and then I was like, run.
Yeah, and I went back with her. The last time I went down there when Foo Fighters was playing, I just walked in like I was stoned and drunk and didn't even pay attention to the people. That was fun.
That's so
Yeah,
funny.
and then I try to walk in behind them because I had mine on my left side, like my armband on my left side, and they had theirs on the right. And I was trying to get Ron. I was like, hey, Ron, walk on my left side so they won't notice, you know, and like he just walked ahead of me. I'm like, God damn it. And then like I tried to go through and the lady was like, nope, you got to go over here. I'm like, you motherfuckers. So I like instantly get on and text him, which we were watching Sublime and like Zach wanted to leave Sublime to go get his seat. Like there was still like a half hour left on Sublime.
Yeah, I was
or whatever.
pissed because there was a lot of good songs. A lot of good
Sublime.
songs from Sublime I left. But we were down there on the floor for freaking Foo Fighters. We got pretty damn close to the front, which was fine. I actually had to get the fuck out because the mosh pit was getting a little too much. I was not near the mosh pit, but suddenly I was. And people were crowd surfing like a ridiculous amount. Had some dude land on my head, and suddenly my glasses almost got knocked off my face.
How many of them had herpes?
All
And
of them.
did they
All
pick
of
your
them.
glasses off and just throw them and punch you in the
They
face?
licked his
No,
glasses
that
and gave
was-
him eye herpes.
That was the
right.
story I was getting to. I went to a concert a long time ago, freaking Typo Negative and Guar, when I was in high school, and somebody come up to me and was like, I can't hit a dude with glasses on. Took my glasses, chucked him in the pit, and punched me and ran off. I had flashbacks of that shit and had to get out of the pit. That being said, the glasses stayed on my face. This bastard Samsung watch got lost in the pit.
That's funny.
It got stomped on a fucking bunch. And I found it. Like, I moved some people off the way, grabbed it, and found it. It's fine. Keep working.
Interesting.
Nice. So yeah, like they got in, like Zach wanted to leave Sublime, and I was kind of like, man, I don't really want to leave yet, you know. And then like we got up to the thing, and both of them got down on the ground level, and they wouldn't let me in. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go walk back and like watch Sublime.
I would have totally
And I
done that.
texted them as soon as like I got back. I was like, fuck you guys. And then like I just walked over and watched the rest of Sublime.
Hell yeah.
Man, I'll say one thing about Sublime. I have not gotten that much of a fucking contact high from fucking people just smoking. They were passing joints around all over the place on that shit.
I don't know. They may have, besides Foo Fighters, I think they were my favorite. Like Sublime, they were like, I've always loved them. So
They would have been really cool to
it
see.
was the shit.
Sublime was also funny because you could tell which ones were the original members and which ones were new ones.
That's funny. How's
Really
that?
easily. Because the original members were all old and
I
fat.
was gonna say
One of
that-
the dudes in the band looked like, I hate to say it, looked like my fucking grandpa almost.
And they also had this look on their face like, God damn it, not this fucking song again.
That's so funny. That's really great.
So, this beer.
The first thing I noticed about it, and I've had it before, the graham cracker tastes kind of fake.
Yeah.
It tastes like artificial versus real graham cracker being in it.
I
For
agree.
some reason, I know it's a s'mores, but my brain keeps wanting to say it's got like a slightly root beer taste to me.
A little
Yeah.
I could see it because I don't really like root beer, and like I don't know if I like this. I mean, it's not terrible, but maybe like a cream soda mixed with root beer.
Okay,
flavor.
yeah.
Kind of. I kind of get that. I feel like it's, like I said, it was a really cheap one, and I brought it just because there was extra.
What's the alcohol?
Alcohol.
Fake?
Oopsies. Fake bullshit. Ale with artificial and natural flavor. Government warning. 6.2%. It's like a liquid s'more with flavors of marshmallow and graham crackers aged on chocolate and vanilla. In all reality, no, it is not.
I think what I'm getting here at a flavor profile,
Is-
it's the chocolate. Something about the chocolate is not doing it for me.
It's the vanilla. It tastes like cheap
It's
vanilla.
kind of like a Tootsie Roll flavor almost, like
Ish.
the chocolate flavor
Right?
is kind of Tootsie Roll flavor-ish. Yeah. Ish.
If I had to compare this between the two s'mores beers I bought last week, what was it, the Junk Ditch one, the Dino S'more, and this? Dino S'more still number one,
Yeah, yours is definitely better, dude.
and yeah. But, it's a cheap s'mores flavored beer for someone's like, dude, it's a s'mores flavored beer, let's get it.
And
Yeah.
for someone who is not used to different flavors and does not want a very heavy taste of like sweet stuff in their beer, it's probably a good segue into craft beers without it. I mean, it is a craft beer, but it's pretty beer-like still.
It's color-wise, it's kind of like a Coca-Cola, maybe Pepsi-Cola color, not flavor.
It's like that caramel syrup
Yeah.
of that.
I see it.
That's what I'm getting.
So what'd you go for numbers, kids?
I'll do this one as a 2.75
Nah, I'm gonna just do.
Same.
I'm gonna do a 2.
because it's.
If I
'cause
saw
I
it-
almost thought that it was like, well, this one almost tastes waxy too, but it doesn't. I don't have the waxy.
This one, so the Saunders one, I would drink it again. This one, would be, if I saw this one again, I'd go, probably not.
Would you say it's like malty?
Very, very malty.
I feel like kind of like chocolate malt is a little bit like Tootsie Roll's chocolate malt. Kind of.
Yeah.
That's a good description.
Sexy.
Fake graham cracker.
So we were sitting there, and I think it was during Deftones. We were watching Deftones, and I was trying to get a picture. Like I saw this giant dick pop up all of a sudden, and I'm trying to get a picture of it.
It was
and I'm
like
sitting
7,
there,
8 foot tall dick.
and it wasn't that tall, but it was like whoever was holding it up made it 7 or 8
It was
feet
people
tall.
tall. It was people sized.
because they were holding it up above their head.
It was huge.
He's an idiot. Anyway, I was like, he said something to me, and I was like, no, there's a dick over there. And he's like, you just need some dick, you're hallucinating. And then, like, we're sitting there waiting for it to pop up again. And I was like, I swear to God, look, I got this picture. Like, you could just barely see the head of the dick. I'm like, I got this. He's like, you're fucking hallucinating. And then it popped up. I'm like, I told you I wasn't hallucinating.
The dick was great because one side of it they'd wrote Bud Light, it was like hashtag Bud Light or just Bud Light, and the other side they'd wrote cock on the range.
That's great.
Which rock on the range.
Isn't that what Sonic Temple used to be?
Yeah.
There you go.
So
That's
yeah,
so funny.
it was great.
That's really great.
Yeah, it was funny, though, because he's just like, you're just hallucinating because you need some dick.
Hell yeah.
Like, I told you I wasn't hallucinating.
Man, there was like so many fucking awesome people there doing shit for, like, at one point crowd surfing. I think it was during Filter. Some dude with a Santa beard and Santa hat
Santa
hopped
Claus.
up, and Santa Claus went crowd surfing.
I think I saw Jesus during Sublime.
Yeah,
That's
I saw.
awesome.
I saw Jesus. Yeah, I saw him.
And then there was
People
people,
are-
dressed up like Barney and
I
like,
saw pictures,
Barney
I think, of that.
and the bad guy from Nightmare
is his
Before
name
Christmas.
Boogie?
Boogie, yes.
Yeah, Boogie from Nightmare.
And then
People
I-
are really dedicated to be dressing like that in that fucking heat like that all day.
right?
Then,
Well, I don't
like,
think they were like that all day.
Wow.
I also saw like a dude dressed as like a fairy and a unitard with wings.
I
Yeah.
saw that picture and
That
it
was
was
the guy.
really funny.
That guy, I kind of wanted to be friends with that dude, but he was
Right.
like way far away.
It's really awesome.
I like people watching at things like that. And then there's
Yes.
like these women walking around wearing like dominatrix type outfits.
Were they old and whorish?
No, they were young. They were like in their 20s.
They're not allowed doing that at that age.
I'm like,
Sure
somebody
they are.
said something about me wearing that. I'm like, I don't look nearly as good as her.
But you got to look bad when you wear something like that. That's just a given. I feel like that's just, one of those things. It's like, I look good. I don't have to dress all shitty. And then when you're old and you're like, oh, I'm old, fat, my tits are sagging to my hips. I got to do something to get myself noticed. And then you wear a nasty,
there was a lot of them that was like the hot concert chick.
No hate or judging. I'm just saying.
It was the hot, well, I'll call it the, quintessential hot concert chicks that are somehow, 10 times hotter than they would be in the real world wearing that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then, like, some of them with, like, the holes and things. I know, I was starting to get a little bit sunburnt and crispy. Ariana
I thought he was going to say I'm starting to get a little bit of a wood.
No, I was just wondering, like, what the hell kind of tan lines are they going to get out of some of that shit, Sunburns and tan lines like that would be hilarious to see.
Yeah, that's probably some weird tan lines.
Oh, yeah.